Hi, everybody. See the black circles, the thing spinning around? That's Brandy. Yeah, she is having technical difficulties because apparently it is storming in Florida. I actually have a friend that got stranded in Florida, couldn't get out. She was there on a little vacation. She couldn't get out. They canceled all the flights and stuff, and people couldn't get out. She was
Ooh.
stuck down there in Florida. Yeah. Yeah. And
Well,
I was listening
we were
to the
upset
news.
because
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I was just
Well, we
listening.
were upset today. We were upset today because they knew at the beginning of the day that it was supposed to storm, like bad storm, like tornado, and they didn't cancel school. And so 7th period, it got extremely dark outside. Wind was blowing really badly, rain. They came over the intercom and said, teachers, please hold your students. Like, I couldn't even hear the rest of the announcement for how long we had to hold the students, because all of the students in my 7th period class, which is my interesting class, special class, that just literally flipped out.
Nice. All right.
Oh my God. So yeah, that was fun.
Are you still here, Melly? And if you're still here, I can tell you where we're at. We're not quite halfway. We're like on page 136, if you're still here. We were just discussing what we're going to read for the next part. There she is. Because we have like 2 really long chapters, which would give us a whole bunch to read. Or do we do just a smaller part this time? So I think we're going to do a smaller part this time. And that takes us to like this section 2 break. There's like a break in the book. Isn't that section 2? Or is it past section 2? No, it takes us right to section 2. So part 2 of the book. I think that's what we're going to do. So, yeah. And this is going to be a short week of reading. So you probably really get caught up. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Karen.
You can easily get caught up.
Karen, I need to get with Karen about retreat stuff and see if you really want to help me, Karen. Hey, Margaret. I know. I got things I got to do, things I got to make. It's crazy. Okay. You're going to log off and you're going to go catch up. Perfect, Melly. Perfect. All right. So.
Yay, Melly.
Yeah. So this is what's going to happen with Brandy, I guess, because of the storms. She just doesn't have any internet connection. So she's gone and she'll come back and gone and come back. That's how it goes. Anyhow, so what do you think? What do you think about the book so far? We learned some more stuff this time. We got some more information. Hi, Margaret. Yeah, we learned some new things, didn't we? Now she's gone. I don't know. Normally she turns right around and she tries to get back in, but I don't know. Anyhow, what was I thinking? What was I saying? Let's see. Oh, I think she's different now.
Well, you're not going to be able to see me, I don't think, but can you hear me?
We can hear you. Are you on your computer now?
Yeah, because I'm I figure at least I could hear you through my computer, even if y'all can't see me.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually, we'd rather have your voice, I think, and in the discussion, right?
Yeah. Just
so
y'all that know me, just picture my facial expressions. How about that?
Hi, Lucretia. Had to put a casserole in. All right. It is a little slow. I would agree, Karen. I agree. It's a little slow. Yeah, I don't know. They do keep popping back to her job a lot.
Yeah.
And that painting, right? Is there a reason for that? I mean,
okay. My thought on, I think, why maybe that she's doing that, why she's going back to, why Jodi's going back to the job thing, is because of the fact that it kind of brings back into perspective, like how she, what her dad did in art, and how she kind of like threw it away because of her mom, and that's where she started her aspirations to be an art dealer or representative or whatever, rather than a artist. And I think like being able to see that little rise gives us a little bit more information about her. I'm thinking, I don't know, because she started to rethink everything.
Well, and now she was in the little village or whatever, in their little city there, and she's drawing those I can't say that word, caricatures.
There you go.
She's drawn the little pictures for people in exchange for stuff. I mean, she left with a whole bunch of stuff, that they gave her for their picture, and they're just like on little note cards, it sounds like, or something. But she was like, I'm getting back in the swing of it. And, it's starting to come back. And she's feeling good about it, I think,
Yeah, she was.
She's drawing. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a whole weird thing. She's stranded on this island. She's talking about her job, which I think, don't we know that at the end something had gone wrong? The lady wasn't going to sell the painting after all.
Yeah, something she was.
Yeah,
I think she was reconsidering.
Yeah, so the deal might be no go, and she was really counting on it.
Yep.
But I thought it was interesting in the last segment, where she went to meet the lady for the first time and was told to not say anything. Don't speak.
I know.
Don't say anything. But she did. And she had this idea, and the lady really liked it, And so her boss was going to be really mad at her at first, until she found out that that's what she was interested in. I don't know. It's all kind of, it's very PC, like really, little of this, little of that, little of this, little of her boyfriend and the pandemic. I found it very interesting. The ECMO. When one of his letters talked about ECMO, I mean,
yeah.
I watch some of these shows, I should watch Chicago PD, not PD, Chicago, the hospital one. Jeez.
Yeah.
The hospital one. And they've talked about ECMO, and I didn't know what ECMO was. But ECMO is, they described it like in great detail about it. You get this and this and this, and you basically every function of your body is being artificially operated,
Yeah.
I thought, oh, that's really, ooh. I mean, at that point, you're almost not alive, right? You're just artificially alive.
Well, I mean, that's what he says. He says that it's like they're, what is it? Like not farming out but basically like, okay, your body can't do it, so we're doing this and this and this and this. So like, what part of you is actually still not being controlled by a machine?
Exactly.
Are you actually living if all you're living on is machines?
Exactly. If it's just machines that are keeping you alive, are you really alive, right? Hi, Kara. I know, Karen, that's the other thing, too. Why did he get all pissy with her? If he really didn't want her to go, he should have just said so. Why did he say, no, go. You go. Enjoy the vacation.
Well, I guess maybe it's one of those, I think, where he wanted her to say, I really don't want to go without you. And she really wanted him to say, no, I really want you to stay.
So that just tells me right there, they have a little communication problem. What do you think?
Yep. And I agree with Margaret. I did connect that lady with Yoko Ono.
Oh, like you thought that was similar.
Well, I mean, think about it, because Yoko Ono, and her relationship with John Lennon, and how everybody was like, she ruined the Beatles and blah, 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 all that stuff.
Well, that's what they kind of said about that lady too, right?
They did, and they both have Asian names and backgrounds, and had band, so there's so
Aaron
many
says Sam
similarities.
is John Lennon.
Yep, Sam Pride is John Lennon and she's Yoko Ono.
I know. So my guess is, and Kieran, I felt the same way, that it's kind of just slow and like, I don't know what's going on. And that's not typical of Jodi. Like, I don't think that's typical of her style, right? But there must be some stuff coming down the pike here, like pretty soon, that's gonna just kind of blow everything up. I don't know. And it's like there's so many different things going on. There's her and her life back there with the boyfriend and the job and all that.
Yep.
And now there's this whole life here with the new people she's living with, and things are happening there too, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, she's getting really close to him and the daughter, and learning things about the daughter. Learning a lot about the daughter, right?
Yeah, and the daughter doesn't even want her to leave. Like when she was, she thought, hey, the 2 weeks is up. I'm heading to the ferry, and the daughter's like, stay. I mean, like, went from this absolute recluse, and then, wants her to stay, and now, like, literally, that cliffhanger, like, or not really quite a cliffhanger, but like stops her from tumbling, I guess, to her death, possibly. And be like, I just wondered what it felt like to let go.
It was a literal cliffhanger.
Yeah.
She was literally hanging. Right? Wow. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It's very piecemeal, and just, I don't know. Karen still doesn't think she sent in the postcards. Well, she got to talk to him.
Yes, she did.
She got to talk to him. They broke into the hotel. The girl that wanted to sleep with him, or did sleep with him, got him in the hotel, got him on the Wi-Fi. She's going to be asking for another booty call later, right?
Yeah, so. And but have you noticed that when she's now with Gabriel, that she's not thinking about her man at home as much? Well, he's not at the forefront of her mind.
Yeah. And then she's going off and doing all these other things, which are taking precedent. Yeah. I mean,
she even called the place home, and it kind of felt like it.
Oh, like her little apartment there, her little, yeah.
Yep. I'm like, oh, and she's starting to realize, I think, that what was that line that she said something about? You ever just set a goal for something and just ran, and then you kind of lost track of what you were running for?
Yeah. Yeah, Margaret, I'm sure if you were U.S., like you were in the Dominican Republic, and they said they would get you home, and they did get you home, I'm certain they could get her home, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for the story, clearly. I mean, it has to be. Right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, at some point, there might have been some places that when the pandemic started, that you were stuck, obviously not indefinitely.
Yeah.
But probably until they could get to, and the Galapagos is very much smaller than the Dominican Republic is. So, they may have, like, they only have one boat that comes to them and one boat leaves.
Yeah, but I agree. I agree with Margaret. They could have figured out how to get her out of there if she needed to get out. And now her mom is sick. Now, yep. She saw her mom. She talked to her mom, and her mom was just kind of ornery and didn't really know her, because clearly her mom has dementia. Yep. But she didn't seem to think she was too ill. But they're calling again. So my guess is mom is getting more sick, probably. I don't know.
Possibly. And do you find it interesting that her boyfriend's, see, why is it that I can remember Gabriel's name,
But you can't remember the boyfriend?
Yeah.
Uh,
But the fact that his letters, like, yeah, he says he misses her and stuff, but like you hear so much of the medical information of what's happening, and like,
oh, yeah. Well, because that's, that's his focus. That's his life,
Finn. Thank you, Karen. Finn.
Yeah, I
I
was
don't
just
know
going to look
why
at,
his name
yeah.
slipped my mind, but I can remember Gabriel's and
Yeah.
Beatrice.
But I mean, that's where he is. That's his daily grind. And that's what, that's forefront in his mind is all the stuff that's going on with the COVID stuff. Where hers is she doesn't even feel the COVID. She doesn't feel any of it, She's just on this island getting to know these people.
Well, and I mean, like, they do wear masks, so she's been wearing the mask.
Mm-hmm.
And I did think it was interesting because that she was like, how in the world am I gonna, live? And that's when she got to see the whole trading aspect. And that whole thing that she did with the caricatures actually saved him from getting his tourist leader license and her staying out of jail, because it was his son, the cop's son, that she stopped from being bullied and did that caricature, that first caricature. And he's like, you were kind. And he let him go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Gabriel's a little risk taker. He doesn't care. He seems to think he can, do what he wants on the island. It's his island after all. Remember?
That's right.
It's his island.
And he wanted to show her his island.
Yeah. It's his island. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can understand Finn wanting to just talk about that all the time, because look at how much time he's spending with it. Look how in his face it is, how much it's affecting him. And I'm certain that people who work through that pandemic, not that it's over, but you know what I mean, people who were there putting in those hours like that, that's all they could think about. That's all they were consumed by. It was hard to think about anything else, right? Yeah. Okay, ladies, you went ahead. Okay.
I stopped where I was supposed to.
I know Brandy's always good. I can count on Brandy. She stops right where she's supposed to stop. I stopped.
Except the one time that I didn't get all the way where I was supposed to.
Look at Margaret.
Margaret.
Oh boy.
But I can tell you, I don't know. I have my suspicions, and I'm like, I can see that her life's kind of taking a different, she's getting a chance to really take the whole job pressure, take the whole pressure of taking care of mom, who she's not really close to anyway. The whole relationship pressure, take all of that off. And now she has only herself really to focus on and help somebody else that has nothing to do with all of her past. I'm doing this because I don't want to be like I think she gave up art because her dad made that one comment that is like her mom.
And she didn't want to be
she didn't want to be like her mom.
Mm-hmm.
So she never really got a chance to fully explore what she possibly wanted to do. She obviously loves art.
Right.
I mean, she's making these weird art things, and
yeah.
And I think this girl's also good for her, just like she's good for this girl. For Beatrice.
Yeah. And they're not that much different in age. I mean, she's a little bit older than her, but not a bunch. Not, They can still relate to things. She can still relate to her. Yes. Because, it hasn't been that long since she's been a teenager and gone through those things. And she came out and told her that, she kissed that girl and that messed up everything. And that's why she's been feeling the way she's been feeling. So,
and I think honestly, she's the first person that Beatrice has come out to, because obviously she hasn't come out to anybody else, you
No.
know, and
Her dad
but
doesn't
now
know
she
for
feels like she
sure.
can't go back there. Like she's like, I can't go back there.
Right. I ruined it. I've messed everything up.
And that's got to be scary. That's honestly got to be scary when you think I for once went with my heart and I accepted who I just went ahead and embraced who I am. The other person seemed to accept it, and then all of a sudden now I'm this no.
Yeah, well, she did. The other girl did, but then she was like, "Oh no, I can't." You know,
My parents, but only I can't. I love you, but I can't love you that way.
yeah, I just can't. Yeah,
And it's just like, oh,
and I mean, that happens to lots of people
yeah.
in lots of different kinds of situations. You know, and so that is part of growing up, being an adolescent, a young adult, or whatever. You know, there are people that and things that happen that just for whatever reason, something is not going to let it work, or somebody's scared about something or whatever. And, you know, I lost my point. I mean, it happens. And
There's
we
always trials that you have to go through.
yes, we all go through things and we all have to learn and weed our way through it and come out on the other side somehow, some way, you know? So
We wouldn't be who we were if every single if I think if any person went through life and there were no bumps, there were
right,
no struggles, there was no mistakes,
right.
then like I feel like that person would be a Stepford person
Right.
because like you develop your personality and how you cope with things and
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, I would really hate to take someone who's never had a moment of struggle, strife and whatever their life and throw them one little curveball. They would probably like
Oh yeah.
melt down like
Oh yeah.
be the
That'd
Hindenburg.
be the end. They wouldn't have a clue what to do. Mm-mm.
They'd
No.
be so lost that it'd be worse. It could be
Yeah.
something small, but it would be catastrophic.
So
for
let's
them.
go back to the very end of what we read when they're in that inside that volcano.
Oh my God.
She didn't want to go in there.
Nope.
The young girl did, Beatrice did, but she didn't want to go in there. And she talked her into it as they're going down this ladder into this deep, deep hole, and they don't even know what's at the bottom. And she's like, it's kind of terrifying, kind of cool, but kind of terrifying, you know? But she didn't want to go any further. And she's hanging on for dear life when Beatrice decides to play whatever.
Truth or dare.
And she's like she's gonna jump off, fall off, whatever. What the hell? What was that about? Why she want to do that?
I don't know, but I liked that moment they had. I mean, granted, it scared the crap out of her because she managed to catch her just barely and was like, hold on, can you grab me, and then just that one profound, I just wanted to know what it felt like to let go.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's more not as literal. I mean, granted, literally she let go.
She did.
But I think there's also a figurative back there of maybe some of what's wrong is because, she kind of has to hide some of what she's feeling and she just wants to know what it's like to just let go and just be. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's what she said. I mean, that is what she said, and that would be how you would take it. But I mean, letting go of things in your life and just whatever happens is one thing. Letting go of the ladder and falling into whatever, that's a whole different thing. I mean,
They don't know what's at the bottom of that. I'm assuming it goes down really far.
Yeah. And she would have been dead. And nobody would get her out. I don't know. That was crazy. That was crazy. There's so many weird things, just weird things. I don't know.
Weird moments. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely like I'm, granted, I will tell you that hearing Finn's recounts from the hospital, as we've been going through this, obviously we know that people have died
Mm-hmm.
from COVID. We know there were a lot at the very beginning. And we did know that there was still a good survival rate, but at the same time, like I don't think I ever really listened in on the stories of like what specifically these people that were in the hospital, what they were suffering from, and exactly how bad that it, like you hear that it was bad, but like to actually hear details is like, whoa. Like like him having to hug, like I bet you he's probably not the only one that had to hug someone in a full PPE who is never going to get another hug from their loved ones and can't get a hug from their loved ones and just needed something.
Oh yeah.
That was a little wow.
I know. All right. Well, we're going with just a little short section this time, so we're getting to part 2. Part 2 is after chapter 11. So it's where we'll get all those little one-liner chapters. Remember?
Yeah. So we're going to go through and finish chapter 11, and that'll put us at part 2.
It'll put your part 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because chapter 11 was long and chapter 12 was long, and it would have been like a whole bunch, and then it would have left us just a little bit at the end of the book. And so let's just do this little piece. We'll get to part 2 of the story. And I don't know, does that mean everything's going to be different when we get to part 2? I don't know. We're going to be in a different place, different time? What's going to happen in part 2?
Is she finally going to get to leave the Galapagos? And
I don't know.
And now she's going to want to go back? I don't know.
No idea.
Or is she going to find out she's stuck there, or maybe she wants to be stuck there?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe
she falls in love with the island life.
Could be. Could be. I don't know. She's got to get some money, though. I know that.
Or just start her art styles.
She needs some money. Or she can just keep trading for stuff.
There you go.
Oh, boy. All right. So that's what's up for next time, you guys. Get to part 2, that break there for part 2. All righty. And Karen, I'll get with you. I don't know what your schedule is anymore, but you work a lot, right? All righty. Okay. I will, we'll talk to you guys later. And Brandy, at least we could hear you and have a discussion, even though we couldn't see your beautiful face, but we can hear you.
I put on lipstick and everything for y'all and did my hair.
And the funny thing is, I have, underneath this screen that you guys can see, I can see Brandy still. She's still down here in the back room in the studio down here, and there she is. She's just sitting there. She's got this look on her face. She's like, she's just been sitting there the whole time. All righty. Have a good week, everybody, and we'll talk to you later. We'll see what's going on with this interesting book. I just think it's very interesting. I don't know.
Bye,
all righty. Okay. See you guys.